You're risking everything and your income's on the line every day. I had to ask him if I could borrow $10,000 off him. I said, if I don't do it, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. If you got skin in the game, you worry all the time. If you have no skin in the game, you're an employer. Looking at your bank balance during the day and, in the middle of winter and going, oh, what am I doing? I was in that situation with, 4 kids at home and a wife. If I don't do this, I got issues. The pressure and nothing competes with that. Hi, I'm Shane Vale and I'm a business owner of 40 years, and at the moment we own Hooked on Middleton Beach in Albany, Western Australia, and Scoop Gelato. And I'm going to talk to you today about the struggles of being in small business. Building a business is not easy, and we all start out in small businesses and we always want to succeed, we want to get bigger, and along with that comes a lot more pressure, a lot more late nights. You try and do more and more work yourself when you should be palming out work to other people. We all think one of the biggest things we think is that we're the only one who can do it. And that is the worst thing to think, because you need to train people to do it so you can move on and run your business and work on your business and not work in your business. So that's probably been the biggest struggle that I've ever had, is letting go and letting other people do the work. Skin in the game is what I call it. If you got skin in the game, you worry all the time. If you have no skin in the game, you're an employee. And it doesn't mean as much, you get great employees. The stress that comes with that is quite extreme. You have to let go and you have to believe in the people that you've employed, that they've got your best interests at heart. Of course, because you're risking everything and everything's your income's on the line every day. You think a lot more about the decisions that you make and about every single bit of profit or whatever. You have a lot more better days than you do bad days. Of course, there's a percentage that you cannot look after of, customer base. Bad days are when things break down most of the time. We call it troubleshooting. We walk in and say, what's going to happen today? And sometimes you get a phone call in the middle of the night and that's when it's happening today, like a break-in. Not that we've had that many, but we've had them in most of our businesses. The bigger you get, the more issues you have and you're troubleshooting. They're your bad days, when staff don't rock up and you've got to actually step in and do some work or try and find other people. And there's lots of different issues that we have. They're not always bad days. They're just things that you've got to get through, and that's being part of a business owner. Usually I'm sleeping in a different bed to my wife on those nights.
On the sofa?
Yeah. No, she's actually set up a bedroom for me now.
Oh, really?
Are you grumpy tonight? What do you want? And she says, right, you're down in that room tonight. She knows the minute I walk in the door might close a little bit harder than it usually does, or that's the night I'm not going to walk the dog. The pressure comes from all different areas. Like I said, when people, you might have 2 people who don't rock up for work that day. It's not in an office where people are answering emails or something. It's actually serving customers, cooking the food. You need them there. So that's pressure. And how to manage it. You need to chill out a bit. And I've always been accused by my wife of bringing it home. And I've actually learned over many years that you need to be a bit more chilled, because it's not the end of the world when something goes wrong. You can fix most things. You can call someone in to fix most things. And, if you're a staff member down or 2, you just tell the customers it's going to take a bit longer to cook a bit of fish or, sit down and enjoy a drink while we get your meal organised. So, you've got to train yourself to actually be bit calmer than than throwing things against walls and getting upset like I used to in the old days. And it changes over time. Yeah.
Do you think that just becomes with age? Do you think if let's say if there's somebody starting out with a business,
I think it's
today,
longevity in the business.
Yeah.
I don't think it's age so much. I think it's just you realise that the things that you used to worry about, like somebody might, a $20 piece of fish goes on the floor one night or something, you think, oh, I've lost all my profit, with the amount that you're actually cooking in the long run, it's not a major thing where it used to be the end of the world for me. You know, what are you doing? I've spent all day filleting that fish and, you know, and you're throwing it on the floor, but it's an accident, you know. So it's longevity in the business, I think, and you realise that things aren't as bad as, you know, as you think they are. The one that comes to mind is in my last business in Perth. And I had a few health issues, and I've always had my family working for me, my 4 children. And I was coming out of winter, heading into spring, and spring is when business always picks up in hospitality, in retail, and I was short of money. And I had a very good friend who's Welsh who got me into soccer, football, as I've told you. And I had to ask him if I could borrow $10,000 off him. And that, as much as I can think over that 40 years, is probably the hardest decision. It took me 2 or 3 weeks to get the gumption up to actually ask him. And I didn't know what he was going to say. He was, you know, reasonably well off bloke, and we used to eat and enjoy our lunches every Friday in the shop, and we got on like a house on fire. And I thought, no, I can't do it. And I said, if I don't do it, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. And I did, and he did borrow it to me, and I gave it back in spades in the middle of summer, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And it was very, very like talking about the previous questions, the pressure, and nothing competes with that. You know, asking a good friend, can you help? And you know, it's what a lot of people can't do. But I was in that situation with, you know, 4 kids at home and a wife, that I just thought, if I don't do this, I got issues coming up, very serious. Yeah, losses like that are when you think you've lost everything, or not reaching out for help is, you know, one of the things that you need to do. And there are very kind people out there who will help you. And it's probably one of the things these days that people don't do, and, you know, people take their lives and things like that.
Of course.
And it's, hopefully there are people out there who will help. Try to get a business where you don't start at zero at the start of every month. We are in one of those businesses because we don't get income until we open our doors every day. You need to try and find businesses where you've got income coming in all the time. And one of the biggest issues we have is that we are very seasonal. And I've always been in retail, hospitality, where businesses are very seasonal. It's very unpredictable. And all you can do, like what I've tried to do, is to promote yourself more, try and get people, spend money on getting more people through the door, and give them the best quality product you can, to hope that you get more people. You can't do much about in the middle of winter. People don't want to travel into cold areas and go out late at night. And so, you have to do whatever you can in trying to get more customers through the door, but you have to be very frugal on when you do earn the money in summer to get you through, you know, the harder times. Every week, how's that for an answer? We get what's left over. You have to grow your business all the time, and we put our money back into the business all the time, and, you know, draw an income. But you just have to be, like every small business owner, you have to be frugal, and you have to put everything back in to grow your business, and hopefully the rewards flow in the future. And that usually means that you pay yourself less, because you can always find things in your business that you want to put money into to make your business better. And this is what I've always done over many, many years. Over the years, I've learnt that, and I do talk to a lot of people that don't put their prices up, and they only put them up when they have to. We put them up every year, and I think that's just experience. We know that there's a wage rise every 1st of July every year. We know that, you know, super goes up, has been going up every year at the same time. We know that our electricity bill is going to go up 3%, or whatever the government puts it up every year. We know that all our utilities are going to go up every year. So therefore our prices have to go up every year, or our margins diminish. So this is what we do. I've just learnt that over the years the same time every single year, we put our prices up. And if you get uncontrollable things happen like that have just happened to us recently with the price of our stock going up 30% or something, we have to just implement another. We can't swallow that that amount of increase. We have to do something with our prices, and that's when we have to be able to tell our customers what's going on at that time, which we're doing at the moment. Probably family time most. I mean, my 4 children have worked in the shop. My wife can't work with me. She's tried, but she says, because I said I'm the boss. So she says, well, I can't work if you're the only boss. And I said, well, that's fine because I am the only boss. I'm learning to give that up to my son-in-law right now. So I think he gets a bit shitty because it's that old thing where you can't let go, But family time is the biggest thing. I mean, over the years, I've gotten to just about everything that when they're not children anymore, they're in their 30s, but I've gotten to just about everything that they've sports day or whatever, most of them. I haven't missed a lot of that. And back in the day, we used to do, because our businesses were in the evening and at lunch, we did have time during the day to go and do things together and have holidays, not as many holidays as probably we would have liked, but we definitely, I don't think we missed out on too much at all. And no, and you're not always home at dinner time. That's one of the biggest things. So that was all right when the kids are a bit older, but when they're young, it's difficult. So
of course,
you miss out on things like that. One of the things that business people should never do is look at their bank balance. They should always look at their profitability, which is their P&L statement and, your accounts every month. I think the thing is, if you're looking at your bank balance all the time, you think you're doing all right. But if you're not looking at your profit and loss, things can get away from you. So it keeps me going that I can, run a profitable business and have a good life. That's it. And, I really love the industry that we're in and the smiles on people's faces when they come in and enjoy a great meal, and we can provide that for them. Keep working on yourself and keep calm. Like I said, over time, it's taken me a long time to become calm. You have to think about, you always think it's the end of the world when, things go wrong in the business, and it's not the end of the world. I'm still here. So I think innovation is one of the biggest things. You keep working on yourself, which I'm probably in the last 10 years, I've been working on myself, be a better business owner than the whole time I've been in business. And I think that's just, experience. You can actually do a lot more for your business if you work on yourself a lot more. And, that just comes in time. Oh, that's an interesting question. It was ingrained into me through my parents who had small businesses and my brother. So, I think I still would. I think it's in my nature. Just to get in, do hard work and get the rewards. And you get different rewards than working for someone else. And I've done both. In my younger days, I used to work for people, and it's strict because of your time limits and things like that. I can jump in the car now and go down the beach and sit on the beach for an hour if I want. You can't do that in your normal work days. So I think I would get back into business again if you just have to make sure you get into the right businesses, not the ones that take up too much of your time. The biggest advice is you need to do research into what you're getting into. A lot of people I've known in the past have got into small hospitality businesses because they've dreamt of having a small business. And people who have been sitting in offices on computers or working for other people just don't understand the time, the effort, actually being on your feet for 12 hours a day in small business. The advice would be to really look into the industry that you're going to get into. Go and meet other people who are in that industry. Find out the facts, because most people, when they sell you a business, aren't going to tell you all the facts. Find out the facts of what it's actually like to be in that business. And, and that is the best thing you can do. This episode is sponsored by Hooked on Middleton Beach, twice voted Australia's best fish and chips, 2018 and 2024.